Thank you, everybody, for joining me on another episode of From the Street. I am Carl Waterstreet. I'm running for Door County Sheriff, and I am your host of this week's event. We're going to be talking about a couple different incidents over the course of this episode that was quite interesting. So we moved on through my years at DCI, and one of the incidents kind of midway through my career at DCI was the Lincoln Hills Juvenile Detention Center. And those of you that that worked with me that watch these videos, you're gonna remember this. We had an all-agency call out at the time. There was a lot of malfeasance going on with the prison guards at that prison. So they're called counselors, I guess, not prison guards, because it's a juvenile detention center. And what was happening is, what we found out, at least the point of time that I was there, was they were pitting the inmates against each other and basically taking bets on what rival gang would beat on the other rival gang and all the things, and coordinate fights. So we had an all agency call out there. All 100 agents had to respond, and we were each assigned a portion of the prison system, and we all had to interview certain inmates together and collect those interviews. Well, we were literally halfway through on day one, and we got a call of a hostage situation that had occurred in the city of Neenah, and a significant amount of shots were fired, and a law enforcement officer was shot and ended up getting evacuated, but nonetheless, the suspect ended up getting shot and by police. And so we were called in to investigate. And again, this was during a time that was relatively new. We were still working through the new law where DCI was the primary agency investigating officer involved incidents. And so we were trying to still kind of figure things out. We were better at it, but we weren't exactly had everything ironed out at the time yet. So we all go racing from Lincoln County all the way over to Winnebago County. And that was the first time that I can ever say, so our DCI cars don't have light bars or anything like that. We just have little lights in them. It was the first time I can say that I literally went clear across the state, just about consistently with emergency lights and siren on. It was an incredible experience. And so our whole field office essentially went screaming over there. And when we got there, we had a briefing, and some internal politics happened between bosses that we didn't want to get involved with. And then eventually we were given tasks. And when we went in that scene, the incredible amount of shots that were fired and bullet holes in that building was unbelievable. It was an incident that I'll never ever forget. And the officer that got shot, we ended up eventually becoming pretty close, and had a really, really good working relationship. Thank God he's still alive. I believe he wrote a book about it. I'm not exactly sure. He may be able to correct me on that if he watches these, but nonetheless, he did take his story on the road. I know that, and did some presentations with him and his wife, and really made a good example of it. But he was shot in the head, and his ballistic helmet caught the bullet and saved his life. It was an incredible moment and incredible scene to watch. But if he did not have that ballistic helmet on, it would have been a completely different story today. But that saved his life. They extracted him out, and he's alive today and doing well. So it was quite the incident. I don't recall exactly how many shots were fired, but we were digging rounds out of the gravel alleyway behind the building that went through and through. There were bullets that were in trees. It was just an insane amount of rounds that were fired. And eventually we got that investigation wrapped up, and it took several days just to process that scene. It usually takes anywhere between 8 and 12 hours to process a scene. And that one took several days because of the so much evidence that needed to be collected off that scene. And I'll never forget it. It was just one of the most incredible moments where we came together as a field office. We worked together as a team. We interviewed all a number of witnesses, including one that was essentially could have been named a suspect too, I suppose, but one of the prime victim, I guess we'll call it, of the hostage situation. But it was all in this bike shop, and it was all over disagreements, I guess, over some different things that happened in the business sense of that bike shop. But incredible scene. Took us several days to do, and we got it wrapped up. But Google it. I would encourage you. It's all part of the open records, as part of the Office of Open Records for the DOJ, and you can get all the information on it. You could probably Google it, the Neenah Motorcycle Shop shooting, and read more about it. But outstanding job that DCI did there, and we all worked together as a team to really pull that scene together and find the answers and present it to the district attorney for who ultimately cleared the officers of any wrongdoing. So it was a good all around situation, the best that could be, at least. So incredible experiences, incredible things. I just want to wrap up by saying, we only have a slew of days left. What are we at? So we're at 12 days left. And it's been a heck of a ride as this campaign has gone through spring and summer, and is anxious as I am for election day. Early voting has started, and I can't say that I appreciated everybody enough for the kind words, the comments, the phone calls, text messages, Facebook messages. I met a lot of amazing people along the way on this journey. I'm hoping that we can extend it all the way to November and beyond, and come through with a victory on this whole deal. But I appreciate everybody's support, and I appreciate you guys tagging along and watching these videos, and I hope you've enjoyed them. We have next week yet, where I'm just going to summarize life on the campaign trail and reminisce a little bit, and maybe I think about it over the weekend, but we might do a Facebook Live next Thursday. So wrap up the entire campaign season here with a Facebook Live. I think that'd be kind of cool. So we'll catch you next Thursday. Have yourself a safe weekend. I hope you can get out and to enjoy it. It looks like that it might rain a little bit, but nonetheless, enjoy what you can. If you have any questions, carlforsheriff@gmail.com, waterstreetforsheriff.com. You can hit me up there, or you can hit me on Facebook for Water Street for Door County Sheriff. Send me a message on any of those platforms, and we'll be able to connect and answer any questions that you have. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and stay safe.